My name is Jim Garrett. I've been in Roanoke now for about 5 years, full-time, part-time, a few years for that. Spent 21 years in the Army. Started a business, sold it in Hello, started another one. I was doing real well. I put fiber in. I own a telephone company. We do all our phone service. I have a data center and everything, which makes me really skeptical of this Roanoke Valley Broadband Authority. But I wanted to read you something real quick before I run out of time. In the recommended budget for this year, it says, our investments in education are paying off with rising high school graduation rates, improved third grade level reading scores. We have reversed 30 years declining population. Roanoke's Part 1 crime rate is 48-year low. Carillion Clinic, yada, yada, yada. And all these positive things. It doesn't say anything about the job losses. And it doesn't say anything about, last year, everything was so dire that they had to raise real estate taxes by 3 cents. But this paints such a beautiful picture. Now they're raising the budget this upcoming year by $9 million. If they can paint such a beautiful picture of how things worked out over the last year, then why can't they live on the money that they spent last year? And if they got $9 million coming in revenue, why don't they give us our 3 cent real estate taxes back? I want to get on city council because I want to be an advocate for the taxpayer. I don't think we've got a single person on the council or in City Hall that's an advocate for the taxpayer. And I just think it's all logical, and I think as we sit by and watch it happen, that we'll just keep pushing this up, and people like me are going to move away from here because I'm getting close to retirement age, and I'm not going to move forward to pay $1.50, $100 in real estate taxes in my place. Thank you. Probably my biggest short-term goal is to educate the people of Roanoke on what's going on with their money. We're paying $31 million in interest this year. Then we're borrowing another $26 million this year in bonds. If I'm elected to city council, I would really like to have some other people elected that are conservative in their spending and their methods of using their tax dollars. I believe in 8 years, we have right now $236 million in debt. If you look at the budget, the proposed budget, it says right there, it's a balance. Recommended budget is balanced and meets the priorities established by the council. If it's balanced, then why are we borrowing $26 million this year? It's not balanced. We're doing the same thing the federal government's doing. If you take about 8 years and quit issuing bonds, you can pay off all the bonds, pay off all the debts, and then you can pay cash for your capital expenditure. I was hoping Ms. Price would be here tonight because, I've met her on many occasions. I think she's a wonderful lady. We got some great people, great human beings on city council. But I'm not sure there's anybody that wants to be the bad guy. And not that I take great pride in being the bad guy. I think we're way beyond conflict resolution or really talking to people. I've had a couple of things that I needed done at City Hall lately, and I couldn't get them done. And I called Bob Clements, and they got done the next day. Now I just had something hit in the mail today that really kind of ticked me off because I'd done what I was supposed to do. If I get elected, that means 48 months on the city council. I will guarantee y'all 30 days out of that 48 months that I will meet with any of y'all with your code enforcement stuff in hand, and we'll walk through these properties and everything, and I'll be your liaison to go to the City Hall. I think it's time that we change City Hall. I don't think there's any conflict resolution or anything else that's going to work at this point. For every action, there's a consequence, and Roanoke is a very inviting city. We have, somebody told me, 117 languages. We do so much for homeless people and all kind of immigrants and everything, which is wonderful. Please don't think I'm, want to take people out and starve them or anything. I really wish that surrounding cities would do more so the burden wouldn't fall on Roanoke. But because of that, You know, if you were to, after 21 years in the military, I went to Prince Edward County, the farm where my parents moved. I raised a son there. That's home of Brown v. Board of Education. Do you think they're ever going to get any industry there? No, because industries look at all the school, how schools rate and everything. Our schools are improving, but our schools are not the best schools around. That's a known fact. We've got some of the highest taxes around. That's a known fact. You know, you've got to decide what your priorities are. The median household income in the city of Roanoke is $36,400. In the county of Roanoke, it's $59,600. We can produce all the jobs we want to, and they're going to move out into the county, and they're not going to live here with our tax rate. Well, I think from the first few questions, you ought to know where I stand on this one. It's our money. It's our money. It's, you know, the council gets to decide what happened to it, but that's the reason we need to change the council. That's our money getting thrown away or given as a bonus to some developer. I believe it should go up for public auction, well advertised, and people should compete for it. I think y'all know where I stand on this one as well. Chris Head gave a briefing last year that I attended, and the legislature of Virginia passed a law, and I don't know why they had to pass a law on it, to where our parking garages can now be privatized with private employees. So why don't we do it? George Mason University just did a study, released it last month, that if they privatized all the bus lines in the United States, they would save 30% on the budgets across the United States for it. I don't understand why we don't combine the bus system here, the one in Salem, and make one privatized bus system that served more people, drove more route miles, and had lower fares. I don't know why we don't have a regional jail. I came from a 5-county regional jail. I just ran fiber and replaced the phone system there. They were keeping federal inmates, and the whole 5 counties weren't paying a dime to keep that jail going. Why do we have 2 jails within 3 or 4 miles of each other? We're not running an efficient government. Well, first of all, many of these blighted properties are going to have to be bought by y'all because the individuals with a median household income of $36,400 cannot afford them and then cannot afford to pay the taxes on them. So, you know, the dream of home ownership in the city of Roanoke for the average person coming in is non-existent. It's just non-existent anymore for some of our lower income people. And I think that's a shame. But again, if I'm elected, I will give you 30 days out of those 48 months to go through and look at the code enforcement and be your liaison. We can change City Hall. You elect me and maybe 1 or 2 other people that really want to change City Hall, and the next time around, y'all elect 2 or 3 more, and we'll change City Hall. I'm not shy. Well, nobody gave me any money. Somebody called me up and said, you know, some of these people want to create a sanctuary city in Roanoke. And I said, that's crazy. Throw my name in the hat. And then I went and bought some signs. And, whether we make it or not, that's all there is to it. But I'm not beholden to anybody. And I think I can tell from all my years in the military that I don't mind standing up. And when I wanted to start a telephone company, and I was just kind of an average poor guy who just retired from the military with no money or anything, and the attorneys wanted $100,000 to go through the process. I said, heck with it, I'll do it myself. And I went through the whole process to the FCC and everything. And I bought a phone switch, and and I learned how to use it, and I started teaching some of my guys how to use it. They grabbed a kid who knew CAD/CAM drawing from high school. We do all our engineering, everything. I don't think anything is impossible if you put your mind to it. I mean, I'm a perfect example of what you can do in the United States. And there's nobody at that city council who would stop me from succeeding in making this a city council for a city that works. You know, I have some friends in Farmville. They own the Mexican restaurant there, and they were given amnesty by Reagan and their kids and all are work there, and so all of them are citizens of the United States. And if you look all around, there are plenty of people around them, and every one of them has Social Security cards. You know, a lot of people in the United States don't realize if we sent 12, 14 million Mexicans back across the border right now, it would bankrupt our Social Security fund faster than you could imagine. Most all of these workers have Social Security numbers and Social Security cards that they carry around. But that's one thing. You know, that helps support our economy and helps support Social Security and everything. And, you know, we can argue about the legalities and everything at another point. But telling your police officer not to check something on somebody is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We will create a haven, and then people will quote Mother Jones' article and Washington Post article and all this bull. The federal government will let the localities keep statistics on whether crime was created by an illegal versus an American citizen. So we don't even have any good data on it. And I, for one, don't want to take a chance on it. You know, I think South Roanoke really just slammed this one and slammed this one and slammed this one. You know, our neighborhoods need to have a neighborhood plan. Those plans need to have a 5-year, 10-year plan. And then that needs to go to the city council for approval. Maybe we need some liaison or whatever. But you know, when somebody takes out a 30-year mortgage for their home and they build a nice neighborhood, then I don't think it's right to put a Walmart right in the middle of it. That doesn't mean that a Walmart can't be down the road, but to invade a neighborhood is a whole different matter. And I think that if any of y'all here had one that really invaded your neighborhood, that would be, you know, I don't know how y'all would justify that. But I do believe in property rights. If I buy a piece of property and I buy it knowing that the zoning is what it is, and then I use it for its intended zoning, then I think it's perfectly all right. I mean, you know, property rights are in our Constitution. You know, and I've given that some thought, and from different perspectives, actually. You know, sometimes I wonder if the city council tries to create as many jobs as possible just to get their support. You know, Chris Morrill makes up this budget that I don't think the council has. I was hoping to need a price for beer tonight. I don't think the council has much anything to do with the budget. I think when you employ a lot of people, then you get those people on your side. I said I would spend 30 days throughout my term walking through your properties, looking at all the code enforcement stuff, trying to figure out where the issues are. You know, are they trying to be heavy-handed and make money that way? I'm sure they're not able to pay for their department. Or you know, do we have some slumlords out there? I don't know. You know, I want to think that most of y'all have good integrity, and I don't see the need for 20-some people. I think we need to take a serious look at that. But I would walk through and I would get ammunition for either side.